Hello everybody! Dominic Anthony, your host here, and today it is the Week 2 NFL Game Show. And today we got a lot of good things lined up. First things first, we got our top 5 plays. Let's get into it. Starting with our first play, everybody in the league puking. And yes, we do love puking on our balls. No, I do not have people do that to me in college. But Josh Myers and this Jets corner both threw up during the game. One on balls, one after winning a game. Shows the passion for the game. And Malik doesn't like when his balls are wet. That might just be a him thing. What a weirdo. Play 4 is Bryce Young scrambling to get himself killed. The last time I checked, if you scramble, it's so you don't die. But for Bryce Young, he is just trying to find ways to kill himself. Play number 3 is this fumble. And if I had to say one thing about this fumble, it would be Tom and Jerry. This seems like something you'd see out of an old cartoon. I'm surprised there wasn't a dust cloud of legs and arms in a big circle coming out of this fumble recovery. Maybe even a big hammer too. Speaking of a fight, there was a lot of boxing this week. And no, I'm not talking about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul before the Cowboys game. CJ Gardner-Johnson was defending his title for his boxing elite trash talk shit, whatever you want to call it. And Aziz Al-Shaair punching players that had nothing to do with the play. What I hear is that the NFL loves to fight. But what I don't get is why punch somebody with the helmet on? It doesn't do anything. Only to yourself. And play 1, the Will Levis Award, our first award of the game show, gets given to the biggest what the fuck play during the week, and coincidentally, it's Will Levis. The funny thing is, this award was created after him because of what he did last week. On his knees praying to God, can I not do something stupid like this again? Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, Will, but you did it again. Maybe next time, try not throwing the ball to your left when you're getting sacked where it's just a failed pitch attempt. Maybe just go down with the sack. Maybe just do with what most college girls do. Go down with the sack. Well, everybody, that is our first game show segment. Now, onto a segment I thought we weren't gonna have this week, but we could thank Monday Night Football for this one. It's time for Who Choked. Now, I think everybody knows who choked in this one. As we all know, the Eagles choked. Yes, they had 97% chance to win with about 4 minutes to go. And honestly, what's even more surprising is that the other bird team wasn't the one who choked. Falcons, who, are typically known for choking, weren't the ones who did it. Now, is this Nick Sirianni's fault? Is this Jalen Hurts' fault? Is this Saquon Barkley's fault? Honestly, I'm not sure. But who cares, because you still blew the game. And at the end of the day, it's who won and who lost. And Kirko Chains puts your team to rest. Now, it's time for our upset of the week. In this week's upset, the Raiders beating the Ravens. Yes, you heard me right. The Raiders beat the Ravens. Who would have thought maybe a couple years ago, but no. In 2024, the Raiders, led by Gardner Minshew Mania Magic Minshew whatever, goes into Baltimore and takes down Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. I guess they could have got choke job of the week too, but no. The Eagles, honestly, was a little bit more obvious. The Baltimore Ravens, since 2022, have choked multiple 10-point leads, kind of like how Lana Rhodes chokes on dicks. The Raiders didn't even run the ball well. They had 27 total rushing yards, which means it was pretty obvious what they were going to do with the football. And the Ravens, knowing that, still couldn't stop it. Devontae Adams brought back his Green Bay days. Minshew looked great in those last couple drives. Brock Bowers is elite. But as the Baltimore Ravens with Derek Henry, how do you manage to do this? How do you manage to lose this game? The whole thing for bringing him in is to bring more touchdowns, to close out games. But they're not using them. They ran the ball a lot, somehow they still lost. So upset of the week goes to you, Raiders. Good job. Now, for the matchup of the week, we got Chiefs and Bengals. Now, before anybody even starts with the refs, that was PI, so Bengals fans, stop bitching and shut the hell up. I mean it, okay? Don't get mad at me, because you have to make an excuse every time you lose to the Chiefs, okay? Anyways, the Bengals, or the Bungles, let Mahomes play the worst game of pretty much maybe his career. But Burrow also didn't play well either. It doesn't help when you have one of the biggest mental cases in the league right now on your receiving core as of Jamar Chase, and then T. Higgins, who might not even play football this year, it seems like. I'm being sarcastic. He will be back soon. Don't be scared. But the run game was non-existent. I don't know. I feel like there isn't a whole lot to talk about in this game. The Bengals should have known better to give the ball to Patrick Mahomes with 2 minutes left. But no, I guess they will never learn. The defense played very well for the Bengals, I do agree. But with 2 minutes remaining and it all falls apart, I don't know what to tell you. Pull the real Atlanta Falcons defense collapse. And that's just the way it is. Ass kicking of the week goes to the Dallas Cowboys. How about them boys, they all say. They go and beat the living hell out of the Browns. And then Derek frickin' Carr, recklessly driven by Jalen Carter, goes and drives all over the Dallas defense. The Saints look legit, everybody. And as me, who said shit about the Saints, I apologize. To Derek Carr specifically. I forgot Clint Kubiak even came in, so I guess that's why. But with that said, Mike Zimmer is continuously bitched by Alvin Kamara. I think it's 10 touchdowns now and 500 plus yards over the last couple matchups between those two. And Kamara has rightfully and legally, I got the papers, everybody. The papers, they're right here. They're right here. That Mike Zimmer is now his son. The Saints team's legit, everybody. But we'll talk about that later. The Cowboys, however, that defense was skeptical. You got cooked by Derek frickin' Carr. I don't know what to tell you. At least it wasn't Deshaun Cosby last week. And for the best thing every week, the toilet bowl of the week. And in week 2, somehow we already have that. Says a lot about this year's NFL. We had the Commies and the Giants. Maybe if the Giants learned how to play defense, they would have won this game. Oh, and on top of that, maybe a backup kicker would be a good idea too, because Graham Gano got hurt during warm-ups. So they put up touchdowns, but somehow still lost. They are the first team ever to score 3 touchdowns, allow 0 touchdowns, and still lose. You know, if there was a game that summarized the Giants perfectly this year, I think it would be that. And listen, it seems like Daniel Jones isn't the problem as much as we think. Maybe their secondary sucks. Oh wait, yeah, it does. That's the problem. The Commanders put up 425 yards on your head, and they possessed the ball for 37 minutes throughout the game. Those are ridiculous totals. You can't let that happen and expect to win a game. Even though the Commanders kicked 7 field goals from their kicker they added a day ago. Daniels looks very good, in my opinion. Still doesn't have a passing touchdown, but he's got the game manager thing down. And behind Dan Quinn's team, that's all you need to do. Manage the game, use your weapons, and run a lot, and try not to get yourself killed. Because this defense, you just can't trust it. Oh, that's right, everybody. It's time for the rapid fire round. I get 30 seconds to talk about every game I haven't talked about just yet. And then we'll get into some fun segments. Packers Colts. Anthony Richardson did not play well. Packers defense played well. Nobody is missing Vanilla Joe Barry. That's for damn sure. Jeff Hafley looks great. Malik Willis, elite game management. The best quarterback in the league. Possible MVP. The Colts can't stop the run. We learned that last week. Packers still can't stop the run. But it's Jonathan Taylor. That's it for that game. Next, Rams Cardinals. Cardinals go in, beat the living hell out of the Rams. Yes, the Rams didn't have a lot of their players. Cooper Kupp got hurt. They have no O-line. I know, I get it. That's why they weren't the ass kicking of the week, because their roster is made of McDonald's workers. But Kyler Murray played great. Marvin Harrison, resurgence. How about it? Cardinals beat the Rams heavily. Steelers, Broncos. Bo Nix. Bo blows. That's what it is. Bo blows. Justin Fields should be the starter. TJ Watt tackling and sacking players just by his aura. He didn't even have to do anything, and Bo Nix fell to his knees in praise of TJ Watt. That's all that happened in this game, because it was field goals and maybe a touchdown. It was boring. Browns, Jags, Jacksonville somehow lost this game. The Browns didn't do anything. Deshaun Watson looked like shit. 186 yards. No interceptions, but still played terrible. Doug Peterson, supposed offensive genius, needs to just be fired. Trevor Lawrence didn't play a bad game. No turnovers. But it was just not a good game. The Jags could have won this game very easily, but, they kind of just didn't show up. Texans, Bears, CJ Stroud, ballin', Nico Collins making amazing catches. D'Amico Ryans post-game talking about how hard you have to beat them. Nico Collins' catches make me hard, but what does not make me hard is Caleb Williams. Yeah, and it's because he sucks so bad. Actually, that does get me a little hard because I hate the Bears. But Caleb Williams not playing well. Bears offensive line looks like Swiss cheese. Revolving doors, you might even say. DJ Moore pissed off already, asking for Tyson Bagent to play quarterback instead. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm going to because I hate the Bears, but the Bears are fucked. Sorry, guys. Your defense good, offense poopy. Patriots, Seahawks, JSN balled out. Geno Smith balled out. I apologize to Geno Smith after criticizing him in my predictions video. DK played well. No Kenneth Walker? Who cares? We're good. Patriots, defense looks great, I guess. Gerard Mayo making his team a lot better than expected. Run game looks great. Jacoby Brissett, game manager. That's all I can say for him. Patriots are keeping themselves in games a lot better than people initially thought, myself included. Seattle looks pretty fucking dangerous, I'm going to be very honest. Bills, Dolphins. Tua should probably retire. He just went on IR, probably won't be back to week 8, but I think he should retire. Can't be having that many concussions. He's going to end up joining Antonio Brown on CTE, ESPN. Not a good look. Josh Allen, MVP caliber. James Cook destroyed the Dolphins' run defense. Speaking of that defense, the Dolphins' defense blows. Skylar Thompson's not even going to give him a chance to win a game, I think. They got to figure something out. It's Miami is probably screwed until week 8. Just being very honest. And that breaks down all the games this week. And yes, there is one game I did not talk about. There is a reason. So give yourselves a couple minutes, get a drink or something, because you might need it. Now, time for a segment that we're going to do every week. Which teams are good? Now, this segment is for what teams played good or played bad that we have no idea if they're actually good or not. I give myself about 45 seconds to give my opinion. Let's go. First team, the New Orleans Saints. They went in, stomped the Dallas Cowboys, which is also one of the best feelings in the world, especially that we did it last year too. Derek Carr played so well, all Georgia University players want to drive him. Alvin Kamara looks vintage. The team just looks great. Clint Kubiak's doing a great job. Are they legit? It seems that way, but it always start out this way. So don't get too ahead of yourselves. Am I still going to rank them high in power rankings? Yes, because I love peer pressure and I'm a little bitch. Next is the Cardinals. Is this team legit? They are. And I said it in my predictions video. The Cardinals are going to be a good team this year. Wild card watch. Because that offense is going to put up so many freaking fucking points that it is going to be hard to beat them. You're going to have to outscore them. You're going to have to outpass them. You're going to have to outrun them. You're going to have to stop them. And the defense looked pretty good. Even though they played a JUCO team, still, they look pretty good. Kyler Murray's legit MVP season coming. Put your money on it. I'll put my money where my mouth is. Trust me. And our last team, the Minnesota Vikings. Sadly, this is a segment I have to write them about. They went in and beat San Fran. I'm not happy about talking about this. The Niners are a good team. They haven't won in Minnesota since the 90s. That's 30-something years. Sam Darnold looks great. I don't like to hear that, honestly. It's good for him. As a Packers fan, it's not for me. Justin Jefferson played a great game. The defense looks amazing. The Vikings could be a legit team. But still, it's the Niners early in the season. They always do this stuff. So I'm not going to get on the Vikings bandwagon just yet. And want to know why? I think it's my inner Packers fan talking to me. You can't like them. No, you have to like them. I will listen to the bitchy side. Because fuck the Vikings. Oh, yeah? Hello? Oh, it's time for the fan bitching hotline. Everybody, this call is from a frustrated Panthers fan. Yo, what the hell is going on this season? This is just a complete disaster. I mean, Bryce Young, what the hell is he doing? The kid looks lost out there. I get it. It's only his second year. He had a terrible coach last year. But come on. Every damn game, it's the same thing. Bad reads, no vision, just straight up terrible decisions. How the hell are we supposed to build around him if he can't get his head out of his ass? Maybe even get his head over the O-line. Don't even try to blame the O-line this time. They're finally doing their job, protecting him, giving him time in the pocket. The problem is him. He's not getting it done. He's weapons too. I don't get it. We have a decent line now. We have decent weapons. So why does it feel like we're stuck in the fucking mud? I don't know what's going on with the coaching either. How is the staff just standing there while the kid struggles? I mean, they finally did something about it, but still, I'm not happy. It's like they're afraid. It was like they were afraid to tell him he's failing. This team just better get it together with Andy Dalton, man. The losing season is already on. People want fucking Cam Newton back. Fix this shit, guys. I'm fucking sick of it. Wow. 2 weeks in, and people are already begging for Cam Newton to come back. Maybe if we could find him in one of his funny hats, he will come back. Right now, you're stuck with the red rifle, baby. Now, it's time to hand out some awards, everybody. The first award, the 2017 Browns Award, goes to the worst team during the week. And this week, everybody knows who this is. It's the Carolina Panthers. Everybody saw how they played this week. Yes, they had an interception. Yes, they had a field goal. Congrats, Panthers. You had a field goal. Let's clap it up for the Panthers. You got steamrolled by the Chargers. Yes, the Chargers are a very good team this year, I think. But still, you got mollywopped again. 70 points have been put on your head almost this season already. We're 2 weeks in. This is like 2017 Browns, 0-16 Lions territory here. Good thing you changed your quarterback, because 84 yards in one fucking game isn't gonna cut it. He had 22 yards going into the half. I don't even want to talk about this team, because it just frustrates me. God, Tepper, just sell the fucking team. I swear to God, if they lose one more game, I think Tepper is gonna find a barrel of acid and just dump it on somebody. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe that fan should just sacrifice their lives so David Tepper can finally not be under ownership. The Big Balls Award goes to Dan Campbell. Yes, he did call a fake punt inside his own 20. Is that dumb? Yes. Is it ballsy? Yes. Do I like it? Kind of. Because he's got fat nuts, everybody. It's like a South Park episode where Randy Marsh is bouncing all over town with his big nutsack. That's Dan Campbell. And yet his big enough nuts still did not lead them to a win against the Bucs. Baker Mayfield, MVP Mayfield, you may call him, absolutely took advantage of the Lions beating themselves. Jared Goff threw picks, even with a lackluster Bucs secondary who was injured to all hell. Chris Godwin is really emerging again this season. After a kind of low-key year last year, he's looking good now. But man, Dan Campbell, your balls are big, but if you're going to do that kind of stuff, I hope you could win a game at least, And you're not a bad team, that's not what I'm saying. If you make a big ball move like that, I would just hope you'd win the game too, because you'd be recognized more. But the only person this year to beat Goff in the NFL is Baker Mayfield. And yes, beating Goff is a sin. Don't do it. The Geno Smith Award, given to whoever beat the washed allegations, goes to Derek Carr and Sam Darnold. I've already talked enough about Derek Carr. We all know why he got it. I thought it was a fluke last week because it was the Carolina Panthers, who are the equivalent of my high school football team. But he went in and beat Dallas pretty damn good. So I will give him the recognition he deserves. Sam Darnold too, because he went against a suspect Giants defense last week and then tore up the Niners defense. Yes, he threw a pick. Who gives a shit? He threw a 50-yard bomb to Justin Jefferson, which was 127 yards ran on the play, just from Jefferson alone. Ridiculous. Oh, and Carolina, you notice how I've talked about Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, right? I wonder if they've ever been on their roster. Oh, that's right, they were. See, Carolina, I'm sorry I'm making this about you again, but you are a quarterback wasteland. You are the problem, not Bryce Young. Send him to the Giants or something, I don't know. The OBJ Award goes to whoever had the biggest shit fit on the field this week, and that goes to the Bengals offense. Specifically, Jamar Chase, who became a little bitch in the fourth quarter when something didn't go his way. He was yelling at the ref, and then he started yelling at Zach Taylor and threw his helmet. Now, let's not act surprised here, because he's already having problems with his contract, so why not add on more things? This is why Jamar Chase is a problem in the Bengals locker room right now, and his toxicity is flowing and influencing other players. Like my sweet king Joe Burrow, who threw a shit fit at the end of the game too. And no, it wasn't PI. I already said it, stop bitching. Joe Burrow, known Cody Rhodes ripoff, threw a little hissy fit on the supposed non-PI cheating and threw his helmet. What a great influence, Joe. You should know better. Rookie of the week goes to Malik Neighbors. Have a week, huh? How about that? He had a great week this week. Almost, I think, over 100 yards receiving, almost double-digit targets and catches, and a touchdown. Tell me that's not a great week for rookies. And no, none of the rookie quarterbacks are winning one, because they all blow so far. And which is funny enough, is Bo blows. Sadly, he doesn't blow me. No homo. If the Giants were even a little bit competent, Malik Neighbors would not lose his shit. Good player, but of course he had to have a drop at the end of the game, which kind of lost him the game, but who cares because he still had a good week. I would give it to Marvin Harrison, who was also a runner-up. They were very close, but Neighbors put on a bigger performance than Harrison did. Yes, Harrison had more yards, more touchdowns, but Neighbors was getting the catches, so yeah. Now for our Jamarcus Russell Award, which goes to the worst player of the week. Funny enough, I'm giving it to another first overall quarterback, which is Bryce Young. Little Bryce got benched this week after throwing for 84 yards and a pick. And yes, those are real stats. Just look at this spray chart. Try not to gouge your eyes out while looking at it. But yes, the Panthers are in hell. I don't even know what kind of hell. It's like another descent of hell, it seems like. My brother is currently ready to jump off bridges because of this team. He's already considering swapping teams. He's been a fan of them for 1 year. But Bryce Young just did not play well, and obviously quarterback purgatory is located in Charlotte, Carolina. I'm sorry to tell you, Carolina, but Bryce Young's not the problem. You guys are. Defensive MVP of the week, Aiden Hutchinson. Did they lose this game? Yes. Did he have a ridiculously good game? Yes. 5 sacks, everybody. 5 sacks in one single game. He's almost up to 8 sacks this season already. We are 2 games in. That's almost 4 sacks a game. People don't realize how ridiculous that is. At this rate, with the amount of sacks he had last game, he would get around 45 sacks at the end of the season. Maybe more. That says a lot. And even though he wasn't able to bring him a win, he still did his job on the defense, keeping the game close. What a guy. Maybe the Jags shouldn't have gotten Trayvon Walker when Aiden Hutchinson was right there. Yes, Trayvon Walker is still good. Jags fans, do not kill me, so you guys think the pick looks better. But I'm sorry, Hutchinson was the better pick. And for offensive MVP of the week, we got Kyler Murray. I was going to give it to Alvin Kamara, but at 158.3 perfect passer rating, it is almost impossible to not be given an MVP. And Kyler Murray had that, making him the 3rd quarterback since Tom Brady in 2020 who's had a perfect passer rating, along with Brock Purdy and Lamar Jackson. Yes, Kyler Murray, everybody. Let's hope he's good until at least week 8, because that's when COD comes out. And no, I'm not going to make fun of him, make COD jokes, even though I just did. I will make midget jokes instead. Actually, no. I will save those for Bryce Young, because he is actually not good. And to wrap it all up is the best moment of week 2. And this week is Caleb Williams looking like he wants to kill himself. And yes, this does remind me of somebody. It reminds me of Justin Fields. Same jersey, almost the same bench, same reaction. And no, playing quarterback for the Bears is not easy. And because it's the Bears, it's funny. That's why it's the best moment of the week. Thank you everybody for watching If the NFL Was a Game Show, Week 2 edition. If you guys did enjoy, like, subscribe, and be ready for my video tomorrow, where I curse teams, and I also bless them at the same time. And I give my power rankings, what my best teams are, and my picks, where if I get my lock of the week wrong, I'm forced to do a punishment picked by you guys. So stay tuned for that. See you tomorrow.